want everyone to explore this knowledge. Okay. Thank you. Mr. Avi, you can, over to you.
Thanks, Ajay. Thanks for
you can
such
unmute
great
yourself
introduction.
I think you're in mute, Mr. Avi.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just check that. Yeah. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes. It's very clear.
Thanks, Ajay. Thanks for such great introduction. And yeah, we shall begin now.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so welcome guys, welcome everyone, and this is going to be a journey. This is not just a 7-day program which you have joined for, because here you are going to start a career path, and you are going to get a chance that you are going to get the option to begin and understand and learn and make a career path in this technology. This is a very emerging technology right now, which is known as XR. Okay, so how many people are, I'm looking at the chats as well. How many people are already aware of XR right now? Yeah. We will try to make this chat interactive. Yeah, there are a lot of people are saying yes. Amazing. A lot of people are saying yes. I'm really surprised that a lot of people know about XR. Amazing. It's great to see this potential. Okay, so we have here right now 283 people, and yeah, so a lot of people are saying that they know already about XR. So let's begin with the sheets, let's begin with the slides, and let's see, let's start with our presentation. You guys can see my screen already. Make sure I'm on the full screen on your
it is
devices.
Not Avi, this should be the screen share is not yet started, I think so.
Yeah, they don't need a screen share. I'm sharing the screen on top of this one. Okay, so if they double tap or something, if they focus on my window, they shall be able to see me on the full screen.
Yeah,
so there are multiple selection of views you can find and make me on full screen.
Yeah, you have to 3 dots, you have to click it, and you have to print the video so that you can make it.
Let me do one more thing. I can also share the screen from this one, so it's double sharing, but I can do that. Okay, so hopefully you guys can also see me here.
I think so. I hope it is visible. Kindly confirm that in the chat, please.
Yeah, the problem with this one is that I'll get this window and I have to get rid of that. Okay, let me just minimize this one. Okay, so yeah, we are doing this session. This is going to be a masterclass, 7-day masterclass. Not 7 day exactly. Actually, it's supposed to be 7 day, but because celebrations are going to be there, we have divided into 5 days, and 2 day we'll do it double time. Okay, so hopefully let's start with that. So this is me, Avi Dwivedi, and I'm the founder of Extended Reality Developers of India community. If you already know about XRDI, that's awesome. If you don't know about XRDI, it's India's biggest XR community. XR means augmented reality and virtual reality. So let me just begin with the course which we are going to cover in this session. Okay, not in this session, in this whole masterclass, which has multiple days. Okay, so in day 1 we are going to talk about XR introduction. Day 1 is today, so today we are going to talk about XR introduction. What we'll talk in XR introduction is the course introduction, which I'm doing right now. Later that we'll talk about AR, VR, MR. What are these terms? If you have any confusion, you can definitely ask right away. Okay, just unmute yourself, ask your question, and mute yourself back, because I need otherwise it will create echo to answer. Okay, so we'll explain what is AR, VR, MR. Then we'll talk about XR industry. Okay, how big it is or how small it is. We'll talk about that, and the use cases where you will use where you are going to use this knowledge. Okay, so now let's talk about the day 2. Day 2, the target of day 2 is computational thinking. It's a sort of a very new subject for you. A lot of people here might be not from the computer science background, or may not know about coding or anything. Okay, so the computational thinking will give them a high level perspective of what is programming language, how does programming language work, what is 3D, how 3D works, and all those the fundamental idea. You will get that. after that you will not need to depend on a lot of prerequisites to work further. Okay, so this is a very important, this is one of my favorite session, the computational thinking. The day 3 is covered of game engines. The day 3 completely focus on game engines, because to create a virtual world you need to learn how. Yeah, is somebody saying something? No. Okay. So to learn how computational thinking, you have to learn about how the game engines work. It's very important to learn that. Okay, because the modern game engines are the future operating systems. Okay, this is a very, yeah, this is a very important thing, and it's said by a very big billionaire. So the modern game engines are going to be the future operating systems. So you have to understand how the game engine works, the philosophy behind game engines, what is rendering and all that stuff. Day 4 we are going to cover XR hands-on. We are going to build our first we are going to basically try a lot of stuff, like dive more deeper into XR, the history of XR, exploration of XR, going a little more deeper. Okay, so that is going to give you a much better perspective of how to tackle the XR projects. Okay, day 5 is going to be all about AR. We are going to build our first augmented reality app. Okay, and that app will be for Android, so you can also run it on your mobile phones and you can play with it. Okay, day 6 we are going to build the first VR project, and that project is going to be none other than Beat Saber. Okay, because everybody loves Beat Saber, why not? If you know about Beat Saber, type yes. Okay, day 7 will be the last day, and we want to make it fun, and it will be a lot lighter than the other days. Other days are going to be a lot more you can say intensive, but the day 7 is going to be a little bit lighter, because we are ending our journey in this masterclass, and also we are going to start working towards next goals. Okay, so we are making a very fun subject. We'll work on a very fun subject, which is Spark AR. Spark AR is going to be awesome. Okay? You guys gonna love it, because that's related to Instagram. You will build your own filters for Instagram using Spark AR. But before everything starts, okay, let's know about me. So I'm Avi Dwivedi, and I have worked as a medical imaging scientist at Immersive Touch, which is a medical imaging company, which means basically we take the radiology data and we generate models out of that, and doctors could perform on those models and work on that. Apart from that, I'm running India's biggest community of XR, which is extended reality, which is AR, VR, and MR. But we'll dive deep in next sessions, next in a minute. Okay. So also I run a small studio, which is Unitile Studios, which basically work in services. So now let's talk about XR introduction. So as I already asked, how many people know about XR, and a lot of yes I got, which is very surprising, because I don't usually get a lot of yeses in this question, and I'm really excited. So now let's talk about VR. What is VR? Okay, VR means virtual reality, AR means augmented reality, MR means mixed reality, and XR means extended reality. So there are so many R's, there are so many confusions. So we are going to dive deep into that, what they actually mean. What is virtual reality? Okay, so we have to somehow dissect this term, that what is virtual. All right. So does anyone know what is digital? There is a definition. Okay, so if anyone know about what is digital, they know that whatever is not physical and presented in form of data or bits and bytes, it's called digital, right? But whatever is not physical, also known as virtual. So what is the difference between virtual and digital? Okay, you might ask, what is the difference between virtual and digital? The difference is very significant. The digital data is not meant to be understood by a human, all right? But the virtual data is meant to be understood to a human. They are in almost the same format. The virtual data is also in the format of bits and bytes. But if you have ever looked on a mp3 file, or if you take any file and open it on notepad, and you will find this garbage. Let me do that trick for you. Okay, so this is a image file. All right, I'm going to open with, and I can open with there's no option of text, but I am going to open with text. Let's see what will happen. So I'm going to open with notepad. What will happen? I can see this garbage here. Okay, this data does not make sense to me. Does it make? No. So this data is a digital data. This data is in a form of bits and bytes, and it is supposed to make sense to machines. For machines, this is not an image. This is the text in that notepad file. But this image makes sense to me. This image is meant to be make sense to a human. All right. I know there is some information which is being transferred from this image to my brain. Okay, I know that the image is telling me about an event. All right, so this is the difference between digital and the virtual. So the image could be considered as a virtual image, but the text file was a digital file. All right, you got this clear? The virtual is meant for human brain, and the digital is meant for machines. So whenever the digital transmission is happening, which means machine to machine communication is happening. You got it clear this far?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. Anyone want to ask something? No? Okay. Let's talk about virtual simulation. This is a very cool term, virtual simulation. So virtual simulation happens when you try to mimic a scenario from real world into the virtual world. Okay, so using this virtual data, like you can create an image. All right, you can create an image, but you can also create a video, and in the video you might be showing a scenario of raining. Okay, so when you are showing the scenario of rain in a video or in a virtual format, any kind of virtual format, okay, then it becomes a virtual simulation. You are showing a physical phenomena in a virtual format, and that's called virtual simulation. So any real world representation in the virtual world is known as virtual simulation. Got it clear? Now what is virtual reality? Virtual reality is, suppose you create the whole world using this virtual data. How to create it, we are going to definitely discuss in the computational thinking part. Okay, suppose you create the whole world in the virtual format, and then you put the character, put the viewer, put the observer in this world, and he can observe this virtual world as the real world. Okay, if you can imagine this scenario, that is virtual reality. And why I'm saying if you can imagine this scenario, because virtual reality is actually hard to imagine. If you have any sort of experience with that in previous time, anytime, okay, whether it could be an experience in a mall, whether it could be an experience at your home, maybe on that cardboard in which you put a phone, okay, maybe a real headset, okay, whichever it is, it is an experience. It gives you a new perspective. It's just not an image, it's a new world, and we put a human inside that world. All right, so that creates a virtual reality. It's also I have written there, it's also known as the teleportation of human conscious into a virtual world, virtually constructed simulation. Got it? So we take your conscious from your brain and put it into a virtually created world. It's figuratively it's like that. Okay, so now let's talk about what is augmented reality. In augmented reality, we are not putting you in a virtual world. Instead, we are doing the opposite. We are taking out some elements or some objects from that virtual world and putting into the real world. Unfortunately, we have only one way of doing that, is using screens. Okay, the cameras and the screen. So we lay out the reality. Okay, and on top of that reality comes from the camera feed. Okay, whenever you pull a camera and look into the world, what you see a real world, because the camera feed is coming. Okay, on top of that, you can do some overlays. Okay, these are some virtual overlays, and they create the mimic of augmenting the world, or bringing out the virtual elements from the virtual worlds into the real world, merging the virtual elements in the real elements. Okay, mixed reality is a similar term. Okay, mixed reality, like virtual reality, mixed reality is like virtual reality. In virtual reality, you see everything from a head mounted display. In mixed reality, you see augmented reality from a head mounted display. So the term HMD, which means head mounted display, is the only addition into the augmented reality, and that it became mixed reality. Okay, so mixed reality is augmented reality in many scenarios. In fact, mixed reality is augmented reality. Why I'm saying that? Because this term mixed reality was only coined in 2015 when HoloLens, a device by Microsoft, was created, and that was a head mounted device. So they converted mixed reality from augmented reality. All right, now let's talk about virtual haptics. Haptics means feeling. You have 5 sensations. One of them is feel. From your skin you feel. Okay, from various sensations you feel, from vibrations you feel. Like in real world, if there is an object, you can touch it and feel it, and you should not be able to pass your hand through it, isn't it? But in virtual reality, this is an exception. You can pass your hand through objects, and they happen very often, and it feels very weird when it happens. So a lot of companies, a lot of great brains are working behind this solution, that how I can make the virtual object feel more physical. All right, and the answer is lying behind somewhere in robotics. So they are merging the robotics with the technology of VR, and then they replicate the boundaries of those virtual objects. Whatever the boundaries, whatever the collision system of those virtual object is there, they are trying to replicate that with the terms of with the use of robotics, and that becomes virtual haptics. Okay, then there is spatial audio. When you are in virtual reality, there is a term called spatial audio, which means you should be able to pinpoint, you should be able to tell, you should be able to localize that from which direction and how far the sound is being presented. So whenever you hear a sound in virtual reality, you should be able to exactly pinpoint that from which direction, which location the sound is coming. It's that simple. Okay, and you might also know this term as a surround sound. In the surround sound, you can actually understand that from which direction the sound is coming. It's like a air Rahman audio. It's nothing new, but in virtual reality it makes a great difference. When there is a spatial audio, it gives a more realistic feel to virtual reality. There are also location based XR. So suppose in whatever area you are currently, okay, we can leverage that information of your location, that in whatever the region of planet you are, we can leverage that location, and we can take advantage of that geographical area knowledge and represent something which makes an addition to the virtual information. Okay, for example, if we know that you are in some part where there's a lot of heat, or maybe where something is there is a rain in wherever you are, so we can also make the virtual world rain. Okay, so we can do such kind of we can take advantage of such kind of knowledge. All right, now let's talk about the some estimates. So the source of this document is these numbers is BBC blogger report, and this was presented in 2018 itself. Okay, 2017 or 2018, something like that. So according to this report, absolutely, the in 2018 there was the investment by all the companies all around the world was $21 billion, and $21 billion is a big amount. To give you a perspective, Facebook bought WhatsApp, the whole WhatsApp company, for $8 billion. All right, so $21 billion is huge. So this was the collective investment which happened in this industry in 2018. 2019 it growth exponentially and it became 32 billion. Okay, in 2020 it was estimated 51, but again 2020 was a weird year. But again it because of the pandemic it got a lot more boost. So if I refresh that information, if I refresh that chart, which I will do in a few months, because the 2020 is not over yet and the final report has to come. So after that you will see that it's much more than 51 billion. It will be, in my estimation, it will be around 65. Okay, because of pandemic on the virtual content there is a lot of investment is being grown. And by the year 2025 it's estimated to be 400 billion dollars, a market size worth of 400 billion dollars. Okay, it's huge. It's so huge that Apple is working on, Google is working on, Microsoft is working on, and every other company which you can think of. Yes, you can think of Netflix, and that is there as well. So this is the 2019 landscape of the technology companies which are already investing in virtual reality, augmented reality in various ways. All right. So when I'm telling you, when I'm pushing someone that do invest in virtual reality and create your own product, I'm not telling them to risk their money and do a gamble, because all these money already know the advantage of virtual reality and doing this gamble, because it's not a gamble anymore, it's the definite future which is ahead us. All right, so you can see the 2019 landscape, and almost every digital company which you can imagine is already on the chart. Got it? So now I have a question. If you want to get a use case for virtual reality, what sort of use case you would take? Okay, so this is a question. I know there's a lot of chats. I'm not able to use a lot of watch at a lot of chat, but you can, yeah, tell me that what sort of application for virtual reality you would create. If I make you a creator, if I give you some money, what sort of application would you like to create for virtual reality? I got one comment: virtual training, which is a very good thing; games, which is a very good thing; virtual games, which is the same; VR movie, awesome; Unreal Engine, you can't create Unreal Engine, it's already there; virtual simulation, virtual movie, awesome; retail store, that's amazing. Wow, so a lot of animation, बहुत सारे तरीके के आंसर्स हैं, a lot of different variety of answers I can see in the chat. Now let me share something with you. So what sort of exploration is being done in virtual reality? It's a very small part of that, but I can tell you it's games, it's entertainment, it's movie creation, it's dance. Nobody said dance, but people are investing money and somehow creating the artistic level, the artistic knowledge of dancing, singing, and all those stuff, and blending it with virtual reality and making use of that. Okay, so next time, remember, whatever the art form you have, you can blend it with virtual reality, you can adopt virtual reality into that and grow your skills and grow your knowledge, grow your reach using virtual reality, using the magic of virtual reality. Art is there, social interaction is there, journalism is there. Okay? So I interviewed, I have a podcast channel as well. So I interviewed a very awesome journalist who covered Iraq war, sorry. So her channel is very famous. Her name is Gayatri Parmeshwaran, and she's a virtual reality journalist. So it's an amazing interview. You can also watch on XR podcast. Okay? So there are a lot of scientific simulations, there are trainings, military trainings, education, business presentations are happening in there, marketing, obviously AR is used for marketing for like 5 years. Okay, and it will go, it is the biggest revolution in marketing, because if you are aware of the latest phone launch of OnePlus 8, I guess that was happened in Instagram. Okay, and they did it using the power of AR. In healthcare, I use virtual reality and XR for healthcare. So all these platforms. And now my question is, why you think there are all sort of things and you can do almost anything using virtual reality or augmented reality? Why you think it is? Because if I talk about application of any subject, of any topic, it's limited. There are some limitations, but it doesn't look like in this one there is an end limit. And the answer to this is that virtual reality and augmented reality has infinite amount of applications, because this is a medium. It's not a tool, it's a medium. What is the difference between a tool and a medium? The tool can be used in limited ways, but the mediums can be used in unlimited ways. For example, your television is a medium. How you think that what kind of entertainment or what kind of content you consume on your television? And the answer is, it's everything. You watch cookery shows on television, and you watch bhakti shows, which are religious shows on television. All right, so everything is there on the television because it's a medium. It's not a tool, it's a medium. All right, similarly, virtual reality and augmented reality are going to be the next medium. Your mobile phone is a medium on which a lot of people might be watching this session. Okay, so now talking about the medium, let's see this sort of use case. Okay, so in 2016, this girl, this small child, passed away, and her mother tried to bring her back using the power of virtual reality. So she reached to a company, and that company made the 3D model of that girl exactly looking. And right now the kind of gloves she is wearing are 3D haptic gloves, which means they can feel the girl, she can feel her daughter, and maybe celebrate one more birthday of her. So this is a very unconventional use of virtual reality, but it makes things very, very serious. So as I already said, with virtual reality, the possibilities are limitless, and everything is possible with virtual reality, and the future is really hardly depend on this one. Okay, so now let's talk about see one more demo. This is our podcast. This show happened in virtual reality.
क्विक टूर करते हैं, बट पहले मैं देख लूं कि कैमरा एंगल वगैरह सब कुछ सही है. स्टैंडर्ड रियलिटी डेवलपर्स ऑफ इंडिया का स्टेज है. ये हमारा यहाँ पे आग वाग जल रही है आराम से. और
me and my friend Love Shukla, it looks like we are in the same room, but he was in Canada and I was in India, and we are interacting to each other. It almost looks like we are in the same room, and I created this set for my podcast, XR podcast, and it's as you can already see, it's inspired from Kapil Sharma show, that stage. Okay. There are some fire, there's a chessboard stage. So I created this whole set inside virtual reality, and we did this podcast. Okay, so you can take pictures like this in virtual reality, as you can already see. And this is my favorite one. So it's a recorded message inside virtual reality. So this third guy is not a real person. It's a recorded message of mine, which you can also call a hologram of mine in virtual reality.
So this is captured record. This
alright.
Check.
And in the end of the show,
set दिखाता हूँ.
let me also
click करना.
Yeah, so my friend is a Captain America fan. He's a huge fan. So I gave him a Captain America.
You are looking really cool. और ये देखो मेरा आयरन मैन सूट. एक काम करता हूँ, इसका अच्छा वीडियो बनाता हूँ. ये
So, and we had a fight together, Iron Man and Captain America. So you can do
मैं हूँ
whatever you
आयरन
want.
मैन एंड आई लव यू 2000 क्योंकि अभी हमारे 2,000 सब्सक्राइबर्स हैं. जल्दी से उसे 3,000 कर दो या 2 मिलियन कर दो. आई डोंट.
Okay, so you can have this sort of conversation. You can enjoy this much in virtual reality. Let me give you an augmented reality demo. I used to give the virtual reality demo in person as well, but that was possible in the physical meetings and physical sessions which we used to do. But this is possible even without me exactly being there. Okay, so this is, you can scan this code. All right, if you can scan this code on your screens, you should be able to see a virtual reality augmented reality demo right away. So you can experience augmented reality. All right, so suppose I scanned it and it take me to this sort of Instagram camera. Okay, and I can tap on this. If you can, I don't know, you can look at me or not. Let me switch my screen in such a way that you can look at me. Okay, now you guys can see me. So as you can see, it's an Instagram camera which started after tapping on that. I can tap on this one. Okay, so tap on this and then blow. All right, so you'll see this kind of animation being played. Got it? So this is one of the AR demos, and this is a similar filter we'll also make in this session, in the end of this session. So yeah, this is going to be really exciting for everyone. All right, so this is a Tesla suit, as I already told you about haptic technologies. So this is one of the ways. In the fingers, these bars are controlled with a motor, and the motor pulls your finger whenever you try to embed the boundary of any virtual object, so that you feel the virtual object as they are physically present in the scenario. We are also going to invite the founder of this company for our podcast really soon. Also, how do we contribute to the Indian scenario of virtual reality, augmented reality? We are working on XR awareness, which means we educate people about what is AR, what is VR, like we are educating right now to you. We create a lot of XR content. We are into XR content production, and XR content production means virtual reality movies, virtual reality games, and all those. All right. We are into XR entertainment. Again, it's very similar, but content production include the apps and XR entertainment don't. Okay? XR is skill democratization, which means we are going to tell you how to do that, how to build your own games, how to build your own virtual reality solutions, how to take virtual reality as a problem and what are the solutions and what you can do with it. XR empowerment, which means we are pushing the limits of XR day by day. Okay, by various ways. XR networking, we are the biggest XR organization of India, XR community of India, which means we already have influenced 10,000 plus students like you, and we are all continuing to do so. Okay, we are contributing to XR growth eventually. The final goal of this community is to have at least 1 million people who are skilled with XR in India. Okay, and when this will happen, it will definitely grow India into the next level. So what is wrong with the current scenario? Let me tell you a little bit. You usually see, okay, Python is really growing up, Django is a very great technology, everybody is moving towards that, and now let's do that. But actually you do one thing wrong. You are trying to getting into a filled bus. Okay, there are good options, there are good chances that you get into a bus, but you have to run and you have to adjust for your position in the bus. Or you can either just wait or wait but wherever you are, because the next bus is coming and it's round the corner, and you have a seat in the bus already booked. All right, so XR is just like this analogy of this bus. XR technology is about the next corner, and create solutions for that, and definitely your solutions will take the light. Those who understood the power of starting early started initiatives like Facebook, Amazon. In India, they created like Flipkart, OLX, and all those. All right. So if you start early, you can definitely have a great chance. And this is what we are empowering all together, helping each other, building a great community. So these is the community page. You can definitely join. It's completely free for everyone to join. Okay. Facebook.com/XRDI India. Okay. Join there. I'll give you invite to join the group as well. I'll give you invite to join the Discord link as well. So I'll give that later after the end of series. So I'll invite you on Discord channel and all those. These are my personal contacts. You can definitely contact me anytime. And this is our website. Okay, and these are few Unity related cores. As I already said, the graphic engines and the graphic game engines of today are the operating systems of tomorrow, and this is very crucial. It's very crucial to understand for everyone. So these are the links, and if you learn a graphic engine by yourself, it will take you approximately 3 years, and you can follow these 3 PDFs and read the content one by one, and you will all together get, if you do it very deliberately, you will get the knowledge of those 3 years into you can say like 3 months or something. Okay, so I'm going to send you these PDFs and all those. Okay, and you also have the chance to subscribe to just go on YouTube and search for XRDI. For your homework, you can view some sessions, maybe some podcast of mine, maybe something like that. Okay, so search on YouTube XRDI, or if you are a very technical person, you can also type youtube.com/XRDI TV, whatever you want. Okay, go on this page, hit subscribe. You can share the content if you like. Suppose this is the newest headset of Oculus, and this is released by Oculus, and this is the standard of industry right now. Okay, Oculus, if I talk about if I go to, you can see a complete list of topics. If I go about EMG research, so EMG, which means reading the brain waves. Okay, so right now they are doing some research, and this research will empower the people who don't have a limb or something, and this will also empower people. So right now the estimation of the finger pose estimation is done by this clock kind of thing, which is reading the impulses from your brain to your hand, and this is estimating how the hand should look like. This has no feedback of how hand should look like, and it's trying to, the AI is trying to imagine that. You can imagine is a very good word when we are talking about AI. Okay, so yeah, this is the most standard headset. You can learn the complete, watch the complete session, learn more about this headset or something like that. You can stay yourself updated from this. Okay, so there are plenty of sessions available if you want to know about, for example, GeoGlass. So I did a complete series on GeoGlass. Okay, in fact we are building some projects on GeoGlass as well with collaboration. Okay, so you can watch this complete. We have the XR news which you can follow to keep yourself updated about XR industry. All right, and all this is absolutely free. None of the charges involved, and never it will be. All right, so yeah, this was the whole session, and now next 20 minutes are for Q&A. If you have any sort of queries, please do ask. All right. I'll talk about this as well, the Future Ready initiative. Yeah, so if anyone has any queries, I'm my screen was shared or not? Yes, it was
Yes,
shared.
it was. Yes, it was.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Okay.
yeah. So if anyone has any questions, please do ask. I'm sorry, I'm not able to see the chats. Can anyone tell me that what a good number of participants are there? And
Yeah, there are 339 participants.
339 participants are there. And
Yeah.
yeah. So any questions in the chat? Where do I find the chat?
No, no, sir. So, there are no questions.
No questions. So does anyone has any queries?
Sir,
Because
how far this has advanced in like hospitals and all? They use this technology to do operation before they really operate. Well,
so let me go into that. As I already said, I am also part of using the XR for medical solutions. So let me show you what do I mean by that. Okay. Uh, so I had a conversation with this doctor, and he is the doctor in London, and he is you can say he is the pioneer in the world technology related to XR and all that. Okay, and he's the best person to answer this question. So I'm going to showcase some of his work. Okay, so watch this. He is Dr. Shafi Ahmed. This is world's first surgery on HoloLens. He's a cancer specialist. So yeah, he did world's first. You can see the robot behind that. That robot, you might know about that. Okay. If yeah, I'm not going to tell her name. Type in the comment what is her name. Okay. I can see the chats.
Sophia.
Sophia, yes. All right. So once again, you saw this rig. This kind of rig is being used to create a 3D model of a person. All right. For Magic Leap, he created his own 3D model and then did the operation with the help of other surgeons as well. He is the Vodafone's brand ambassador for 5G technology in London. Okay, so it's a complete interview. You can definitely follow this interview, that how doctors are using XR in this technology. But what I know, I can tell you. Okay, so there are two major types of use case in XR, two major or three major. Okay, one is the diagnostic, and this is a hard part, which means whatever the radiology data is there, you can use that data and basically visualize that in XR. Okay, so that it reduces the time between the radiology to actually operation or planning. Okay, because you can do that on real time, and he did so many times on the live patients. He was able to visualize the anatomy of the patient or the problem of the patient at runtime. So diagnosis is there. Then rest is surgical planning. Okay, which is a very crucial part. In the surgical planning, they basically plan the operation, plan the surgery. And in the third case is basically the trainings. So they simulate a lot of surgical operations, like a lot of operations like ventriculostomy and all those, and then they simulate those operations in VR, and then they train their students and all those. So yeah, the residents get trained on this those surgical operations. All right. I hope this answers the question. And any other question?
Yeah, on chat box, one question will be there. Mr. Mohit asked that question. Through AR and VR, is it possible to include the degrees actors in the current film and TV shows?
Through AR and VR?
Is it possible to include the degrees actors in the current film and TV shows?
Try to find voices.
Okay.
Possible that a hologram can be created by AR. Obviously, sir, is it possible in the future that hologram can be made or created by AR or VR? Yeah, and viewed by smart glasses. So it's possible in future, but it's also possible in today time. Okay, it's definitely going to be much easier in future, but it's already possible. So again, one of my friend, he's Lucas Risotto. Okay, so Lucas has a wonderful channel, and recently he came up with this idea of replicating
From the brilliant Irving
himself in VR. So I would not show complete content because you have to visualize that.
Something wrong with your arms.
Okay, it's a very
I guess the
premature
verdict is
stage.
in. Shortcut.
But you can already see there are two people and they are miles apart, as we already showed in the previous demo. It's their avatars. The avatars are 3D scanned from their bodies, and then they are communicating each other through virtual reality, through augmented reality, from miles apart. Okay, so yeah, this is already in present possible, but in future it's going to be much easier to create. Means there will be apps which will let you create this at runtime. All right, so now let's talk about next question.
Sir, what kind of demos have been tried for testing these?
What kind of demos have been tried
for testing these, like for XR, VR, and AR?
Demos and testing.
Yeah, like when you create the technology, on what demos have they tried? Like, for example, take it in homely environment. So in homely environment, how does this tech come to use?
Okay. So you want to see some demos or something, right?
Yeah, like the company whichever is making it, how are they testing these? On what basis are they testing these, and on what kind of demos?
Okay, yeah. So as I already said, it's a medium, right? So you can technically make any sort of thing. The biggest use case is definitely the games. Let me show you the Beat Saber. Okay, let me open Alex Milan. So Alex is one of my friend. Where is Alex? Alex VR. Yeah. So Alex is one of my friend, and he is an amazing Beat Saber player. Okay. So if I
Mr. Rakshan.
So he's right now using.
Kindly mute him.
He's right now using this Beat Saber, and he is going to play this. Okay. So one is definitely the games. As you can already see, he is playing Beat Saber in mixed reality. Okay, it looks easy, but it's very tricky. Okay, so these sort of use cases are there. Other than that, there are educational purpose use cases. So for example, if I search about Avidia Labs, okay, so this is one of our guests on podcast. So you can already see in the education sector, they have created these sort of stories for children, and these stories come alive, which will give the child to interact with, will give the chance to child to interact with these models so that they can learn better, and the learning becomes more interactive and fun. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So we already have a lot of technical issues in mixed reality. So which is the most important technical challenge in mixed reality to be faced?
There are plenty of those. Okay, the biggest mixed reality issue is the something called tracking. Okay, tracking itself is a big issue. What on the research basis, what we do, basically we use a technique called SLAM. Okay, SLAM means simultaneous localization and mapping. This technique, this algorithm is being give you a perspective using so I'm going to show this my headset. So let me, yeah, on screen you might can see. So this headset already has a lot of cameras, one here, two down there. Okay, and these cameras are not for taking photos, but these cameras are to track this headset, the location of this headset. When you put this headset on your head, it's a standalone headset. Means you are not using any sort of external cameras or processing units. It's all on board. All right, so when you do that, these cameras try to estimate the position of this headset, because when they estimate the position of the headset, they'll automatically get the head position. Okay, and they had to simulate, they had to care about the head position. Based on head position, they'll render the content. So even getting the tracking of the headset itself, it's a big challenge, and it's being done, it's being calculated using an algorithm called SLAM. Yeah.
Sir, like while we try VR,
Yeah.
like you take the first gen VR or you take a PS4 VR, which was released long ago.
Yeah.
You use it like 30 minutes or 40 minutes, you have nausea factors and headache factors affecting the humans.
Yeah.
So in upcoming VR technologies, how will they overcome it?
Yeah, they are very. Let me. Yeah, there are plenty of ways of dealing with the nausea problem in VR. Okay, and in fact, I think 2 days back I did a session on nausea itself, only on nausea. Okay, the ethics of VR. This is the session 2 days back, and you can find this complete 40-minute session, 1 hour session. Okay, and this session was again done for a very a government organization, AICT. You are aware of. It's multiple colleges are part of this. Okay, so we did this session, and this session was organized for professors of all the faculties. Okay, so here I explained that the nausea, how exactly this question, I talked about this question for 1 hour. Okay, so that how do you minimize the problem of nausea? If I have to answer it very easy way, make sure you are creating the application thinking about and thinking about the user, the comfort level of user. Okay, so the biggest tip I can give is create multiple comfort level. Okay, and how to create that is mentioned in that video. Create multiple comfort level so that multiple sort of user can play that. And that nausea is a very subjective thing, it's a very personal thing, it's not equal to everyone. Like for example, when you travel in a car, okay, some people get car sick, some people get seasick, some people get sick in bus. Okay, nausea is very different, but a lot of people don't get sick. Okay, and even if somebody is getting sick in VR, it's not permanent. Okay, so there are evidences that people get sick in the beginning. For example, you said you played 30 minutes and you get sick. But if you play for like a week, you may get habitual to that, and it doesn't bother you anymore. Okay, so there are evidences to that as well. For a long discussion, you can definitely follow this talk, and this is completely on the VR ethics, on the sickness of VR and this topic. Okay, so it's a great amount of content which you can follow on this page. Okay, you can also search XRDI on wait, hold on. Okay, so there is a group which is called Extended Reality Developers of India, and definitely go there and invite your friends, whoever are interested in XR, okay, or technology or anything, okay. So invite them here and join this group, okay, because here you get a lot of updates. If I talk about, it's a community of this guy is a 17-year-old guy and makes fantastic videos about virtual reality and augmented reality and games and all those. And a lot of Lucas Risotto, as I talked about, he posted this video, he submitted this video and we posted it here. Okay, so a lot of plenty of details. You have to get yourself updated if you are entering into some technology, okay. And the biggest message I want to give to all of you is virtual reality and this session is not much about technology. It's about you, it's about your expression, okay. So you can use virtual reality in whatever the way you want, okay. You want me to give an example? Let me show you one of my other friend, which is also going to be a speaker on our podcast soon. Okay, so she is VR Rosie, and she is soon going to be on XR podcast. Okay, so she makes amazing art inside virtual reality. Okay, so let me show some art. Okay, so this whole scene, as you can see, is created inside virtual reality, and that's how it's created. And she created the entire scenario, the entire scene inside VR, one by one. Okay, so she's going to be one of the speakers on our podcast. So do follow the podcast as well, because you are going to learn about great speakers, a lot of great speakers. Got it? So whatever the expression you have, whatever the art you have, whatever the skill you have, you can use virtual reality and merge with that. Okay, so it's not about the technology. Oh, we have to learn a new technology. When mobile phone came, did you bothered, did you cared about that you have to learn a new technology? It was made so easy to use that anybody could learn that technology or do whatever they want to do with that. Okay, similar thing is going to be for virtual reality as well. It's not a headache of learning new technology. It's going to be very natural for everyone. So just adopt it. And AR is much easier to adopt. Make AR videos, and yeah, do follow AR. That takes no money to adopt.
Sir, how will this affect in marketing, sir? Like, you take a normal VR, you have to pay, I think, 60,000 rupees or something.
Yep.
So in the future, you have a lot of techs coming in these generations. So how will this affect marketing factor, and what criteria they can make the prices cheap, and how will they sell it for the normal people, and how far will it go?
Yeah, let me.
And like, how do you see the future in this for the normal consumers?
Yeah, especially technology, especially AR technologies like Instagram AR. Okay, Instagram AR filter, which is Spark AR. Let me show you something. Okay, Volkswagen did this 3 years back. कार का जो नया promo था, that is done in AR. Okay, so this complete demo is created in augmented reality, and you can see the biggest companies in the world are using augmented reality to enhance the quality of their content or engage more. So in marketing, it's an overlay on the real car, as you can already see. Okay, so how the AR is helping there in promoting this content. If they wanted, they could have turned the car without any AR, but AR is adding the new dimension, and AR is conveying the story in a better way or in a more interactive way. So that's how in marketing AR is playing a major role. Also, where AR is playing a major role, you might not have noticed, is this. So in news, there are a lot of augmented reality being used, but you might not have noticed it. In IPL right now, a lot of augmented reality are being used, but you might have not seen it at the perspective of augmented reality. Okay, so right now, as you can see, she is telling us about the flood, and she is showing us that the effect of floods, that how ahead the water is. Okay, it's above 3 feet, the cars are drowning and all that. So in the news channels, augmented reality are used extensively. So again, this is also a marketing use case, because if they tell the story without augmented reality, it's not that fun. So augmented reality is sort of adding a next dimension, because if you saw this one, okay, so this is being done using the technology of augmented reality. You got the point, right? Any other question we have? A lot of people are artists here. A lot of people are making a lot of good models, right? So if you want to showcase your model or something in augmented reality, virtual reality, then send your models to me, and I'll give you a feedback on that, and I'll definitely showcase your model in augmented reality or virtual reality. So again, as I told you, this session is for 7 days, but after that I'm going to talk about a program. Let me talk right now. So we are also doing one program, which is XRDI Future Ready Initiative. In this program, what we have did is the 10 cities are participating in this. So we have picked 10 cities. Second. Okay, in XRDI Future Ready Initiative, the 10 cities are participating, and from 10 cities we are picking 50 colleges, and I'm right now in conversation with all those colleges. 150 students, which means 3 from each college, will be picked, and these 150 students will be mentored by 20 mentors. Okay, these 20 mentors are not just from XR, they are from marketing, they are from finance, they are from XR, they are from VR, and all those technologies, Python and all those. We are taking 15 skills, and right now creating the leaders. Okay, so these will be the XRDI ambassadors in those colleges, which will further guide the rest of the college about the technology. And we are also talking to the colleges that they can invest in us, or they can basically take our help, that how to set up the lab and all those things for VR. Okay, so that sort of initiative is running right now. So if anyone has any doubt, or if somebody wants to participate in that, I'll give you the registration link. Okay, so it's going to be a fun journey, and it's not for 10 days, it's for a few years. And if you want to make a career in virtual reality, augmented reality, it's a very great decision. It's going to be a very great one, and you'll realize that there are endless potential in that. Okay, I think we have covered everything, right, for today's session. Now if you now understand what is augmented reality, what is virtual reality, today's session is complete, because that was the goal of today's session, right? I hope you have learned something.
Avi, regarding that Future Ready initiative, kindly share the details to me. I'll forward it to all the students.
Yeah, sure, I'll share it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Students, any questions? If you don't have any questions, and be ready for the same link for tomorrow's session also.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for coming, and make sure you sort of go on XRDI TV and look for other content, because that's going to give you a lot of knowledge, a lot of background knowledge about augmented reality, virtual reality, and will answer your question related to use cases and all that. And go subscribe and recommend your friend. That's up to you. Okay. Yeah. So thanks for coming, everyone, and we had a great session today. So. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Avi, for today's wonderful session, and thanks everyone to coming for attending this wonderful session for Mr. Avi Masterclass today, the first day one, and we're looking forward to everyone to join for tomorrow also. Thank you. Have a great evening. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, so this was Masterclass Day 1. We'll stream other